Okay, guys, and we are live. Oh my god, I cannot believe it. Laporta wins the elections. How is it? 58.3% of the votes. And I just have to say that we have two very important guests with us today. We got Pablo from Barcelona Universal and the very first appearance on the channel, Alex from Blaugrana Planet. And I just want to start off. Why don't we start with you, Alex? Is this Barcelona's best week ever? Because for me, it is.
This is probably one of the best weeks in my life right now. I mean, we were expecting this, but the moment has hit, the moment has arrived, and definitely the sensations are great. The sensations are incredible.
Guys.
Laporta is back.
It's back, baby. And Paulo, what do you have to say about this? Let us know.
I'm buzzing because I think Barcelona needed this. For me, Laporta had to win. It looks like he has won, and this is a massive day for Barcelona. I was nervous for the evening, but I'm glad that the fans, the socios, they voted for the right man here, and this is good news for Barcelona. Having Laporta back is really positive. So good times ahead.
Yeah, and well, just so to clarify for people are saying that it's not over. It's not over, dude. But you kind of know that it's impossible. It's an impossible comeback, But I guess that in a club where comebacks has been a miracle for the last few seasons, then everything is possible. But yeah, I just wanna really get these people together, get the group together to discuss the things that are gonna be happening not only right now in the next few days, but most importantly, the decisions that Laporta will have to take in the future. So I just want to say, guys, where were you coming into these presidential elections? For me, I always thought Font was a little bit more prepared, maybe because he started his campaigning earlier. Well, I think that's a fact of it. But he just basically ruined his entire election and entire campaign by just trying to attack the favorite of everyone, that is Laporta, and that's not a good strategy to go. It's if any of us start hating on Talk FCB, we're never gonna get anywhere, right? Because he just literally is the total senior man here, right? So after that, Laporta, I think he really played his cards right. So what do you think? As soon as Laporta was announced, it was just a complete devastation of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll start. I agree because I think it was around about March, April last year when the Font stuff started to get really big. Everyone got behind Victor Font, myself included, basically because we were still under Bartomeu. We knew what followed. We knew the 8-2 to Bayern Munich. Obviously, that came later in August. But we were in a state of the club where we needed a change. And Font, what he did, he gave us that change. He said, look, si al futur, Xavi, no more of this old corrupt Barcelona, etc., etc., etc. Everyone flocked behind Victor Font. I'm a young enough fan to not have really experienced Laporta's time in the club, but I still know from what people say of how great he was and how great of a man he is. And as soon as Laporta ran for the elections, I immediately got behind Laporta. And I think actually what we've been seeing from Font is we saw someone who apparently had this amazing project, and some of Laporta's men have been saying this, Hiro, the economic man, and a few others have been saying, for someone who's had a project for 7 years, the way he's had to adapt it as we've gone on has been really worrying. So it started with, even if Koeman wins the treble, he will be removed as Barcelona manager and Xavi will come in. Then it went to, no, we're going to stay with Koeman and Xavi's the general manager. And now all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, Koeman could actually stay next season and Xavi might not even be here. And it's gone from Jordi Cruyff, who was his sporting director, to now being part of Laporta's team, and Albert Venegas, and firing, was it Jordi Majo after
Jordi Majo,
an hour after he appointed him. And there's a long list of these sorts of things, angering people like Piqué, angering the leaders of the basketball peñas. For someone who's had a project for 7 years, and people always say, yes, Laporta's charismatic, he's great, but Font has the project. Well, what is the project? Because to me, it seems quite worrying. Is what I've always had. But that's what worried me. He's had this planned project, but he's changed it so much as we've gone on, and that's been worrying. And like I said, ever since Laporta ran, I got behind him, and I'm really happy that he's here because I honestly do think, with all respect to Font, not so much to Freixa, but with all respect to the other candidates, Laporta is the right man for Barcelona, and it was really crucial he won today. Massive day in our history, and yeah, we'll remember this for a long time.
Massive W, indeed.
Definitely. I'm backing Pablo's words. He knows a lot about Barcelona, and in fact, to be fair, 7 years of Victor Font, come on, that's a lie. It's a complete lie. To my opinion, that's a lie, and I tell you why. Because the hypothesis is clear. In 2015, Victor Font wanted to present himself to the presidential elections. Finally, he didn't do it. Then when he started the project Sí al Futur. Because he didn't present himself to the 2015 elections, he probably dropped the project. And now that maybe a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, he decided to get the project back. And with the excuse that he started the project, in 2015, 2014, now he says that it's 7 years working on the project, which is a complete lie. And we've seen it, as Pablo said, we've seen it, because the pieces were falling off slowly as Laporta was hitting on Victor Font.
Yeah,
and in fact,
and for me, the most important thing about what kind of just makes me go all in for Laporta is you need to have the attitude and personality of a leader. And Victor Font was such, for a lack of a better word, like a coward in certain instances, because he was just shifting blame from someone else to another and not really taking the responsibility to the chest. And I just feel that with that sort of personality, we could see a Bartomeu 2.0 again, because I feel something they have been similar is that they couldn't take it like a man. And Bartomeu always had to kind of shift blame, like I said, to different parts of the club overall. And for me, that's the best thing. And I'm always a person about attitude. I kind of value that over, let's say, if we're talking football, like the tactics. If I think the mentality in the dressing room is good, you can achieve things. And that's the most important thing. So with the president as well. And that is the sort of kind of character that you get with Laporta, right?
Yeah.
I think I have to disagree and agree with most of your points, but disagree in one of them. It's I think the similarities between Bartomeu and Font are there, because both of them are businessmen, right? And now we need a leadership. We need a proper leadership. And I don't know if a businessman is going to bring us that leadership. Definitely Laporta is a great leader. I mean, the charismatic sensations that Laporta is promoting are definitely boosting all the sections of the club, and it's what we needed. And in fact, I respect Victor Font, because he's a guy that has worked a lot. Although the 7-year thing, I think he was promoting too much the 7-year thing, which definitely wasn't real, right? I mean, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, Victor Font had a point, because some of these candidacies are a bit, they fall in the improvisation, right? As the elections are coming, most of the presidential candidates start preparing their candidacies at that moment, right? And Victor Font had a point. But the problem is that he was insistent that his project was 7 years old and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, as Pablo said, everything was falling apart. And that went against Victor Font, which, to be fair, last night, I thought that Victor Font had a chance. And definitely, I think Victor Font had a chance, because there were so many voters who didn't know who to vote until yesterday or even today.
Really?
Yeah, I swear, around 20,000 voters, or 30,000 even. I mean, a big amount of people who, at least, we didn't know who they were going to vote, right? Because they weren't active on social media. Most of the club members, let's remember that the medium age of the members is around 60 years old.
Yeah, they won't consume social media, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right. They don't consume Twitter. They don't consume. And let's be fair, people who are in Twitter, people who are in Facebook and Instagram, we're all young, right?
Yeah, and they won't be able to vote. So
right.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, we want, some of them are not going to be able to vote, but the fact is that the young people lived the Laporta era, you know, and the Laporta era has been incredible. And we all know, we all want Laporta back, right? But see, the older generations maybe see it as a different perspective, because they have lived more eras, and maybe Laporta also had some bad things, right? And so basically that's the thing. I think the elections were alive until the last debate. I think the last debate, definitely Laporta killed Victor Font.
Yeah,
Especially,
definitely.
yeah, he killed Victor Font, and Laporta definitely destroyed both candidates in this last debate in TV3 actually.
Yeah, and for me, what I was really kind of worried about this entire Laporta thing, well, not Laporta thing, but entire kind of presidential election, is that you know how you talked about the kind of the people that consume Twitter being all young, and unfortunately, even though they may not vote, they might be right the people who's gonna put the pressure in, because at the end of the day, you have the mass, the kind of the people in the masses, and just the general public. If you don't have, if we brought Victor Font or Tony Freisa, if they won, I would be very worried because initially the response will be negative from the get-go. And with Laporta, I think he will have time to develop maybe and at least fix maybe certain areas of his plans that needs a little more time to develop. And that time is going to be very positive for Barcelona in the end. I just really, really am happy with all of it. And I cannot wait to see what decisions will he take next. Pablo, anything you'd like to add through that?
I'm so excited, full stop, really, at the prospect of Laporta returning. Like I said, when I first got into Barcelona around 2010, just after the Spain World Cup, Laporta was when he moved on by then, wasn't he? So I've only been able to hear stories about this guy, and obviously, you know, the past, the 2008, the Sextete and things like that. So, you know, to have him at the club now as a fan is going to be a really great experience. And I think this is the sort of guy that, you know, you can be proud to be a Barcelona fan again, which we didn't have that feeling in the last year. You know, it feels like we get run over now. We think of ourselves like inferior to Man City and to Bayern Munich and stuff, and that's how we would have felt if Font or Freisa won, by the way. So this is massive for Barcelona on and off the pitch, I think, by the way. The self-esteem of the club, also in terms of winning trophies. We want to be back now. We want to be a force on transfer market. We don't want to be going into windows saying, do we have 5 million for Depay or do we not? Enough of that. That's ridiculous. That's what happens when the club is run badly. And I've had it, really. So now with Laporta, we need to have, he's got an amazing team behind him, by the way. Not names, but people who are very good in their direct areas. So that's going to be massive for building Barcelona up again. And I'm really excited. I really am. I think we've got some good years ahead. Now for the rest of the season, obviously the focus is just on the team, and not an awful amount will change in the next direct months. But definitely that transfer market, which I'm sure we'll be getting onto later, that's going to be important, and things like that will start to improve for Barcelona.
Mm-hmm. So a very big topic of discussion that I wanted to touch with you guys, and I feel a lot of people, all the people viewing our live stream right now, which we are at, let me check, 400 people, 400 watchers. Doing very good, guys. And yeah, what I wanted to say is basically, what do you think Laporta will do with Koeman? That is the first sort of big question that came to my mind as soon as he was elected. So, Alex, do you want to give your opinion on that?
Yeah, in fact, I think, Ronald Koeman is a legend of the club. Ronald Koeman scored the goal that gave us the first Champions League in the history of Football Club Barcelona. Ronald Koeman, as Laporta said many times, deserves a respect. And Ronald Koeman had the courage to come to Barcelona when the club was destroyed in ashes. He came. He had the courage to come to Barcelona, and we need to respect that. And in fact, Ronald Koeman hasn't had a game in Camp Nou with people in the stands.
There's
no people in the stands. This guy hasn't had the feeling of
being a manager.
Barcelona with being a manager with a full Camp Nou, the sensation of having 100,000 people in Camp Nou. Let's respect that. And in fact, coming to a club that has hit rock bottom, you get destroyed 8-2 against Bayern de Munich, and you have players, with all my respects, like Braithwaite, who maybe are not the best level. Ronald Koeman has been able to get ourselves into the final of the King's Cup and competing for La Liga, still competing for La Liga. I think Koeman is a great guy. Laporta is going to trust in Koeman.
Yeah, I think Koeman is going to stay. I think Laporta is going to keep Koeman, and he's going to be kind of like the Rijkaard of the project, where he kind of really nails his entire, let's say, backroom staff, put them all in the right positions, and then start actually developing the football side inside the field. And that may be with Xavi or the next manager, which comes, I think, probably after the World Cup of 2022. That's kind of like my prediction of how things are going to go with that.
Spot on, BugaLuis. I really like that comparison with Rijkaard. I think it's a great comparison. Believing in Koeman is the thing to do. Koeman has one more year of contract, so ending the season has one more
2022.
year, and let's see what happens. Maybe we're renewing Ronald Koeman. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll renew. Imagine a big signing comes in, because I think Joan Laporta can revert the economical situation, and maybe a big signing. We have to take the risk of making this big signing. I know the situation is bad right now, but you can get money. You can get a loan. You can get a loan and sign a big player and take the risk. That would be a big risk, yes. But if you make the right choices, things can change completely in Barcelona.
Yeah, I agree. Pablo, what would be your take with Koeman?
I think he will stay, but I do also think it will depend on how the season ends. We've got to see what happens in La Liga. We've got to see if we falter or not to Athletic Club in the cup final. That's going to be a difficult game. But one of the main reasons I think Laporta will keep Koeman is, we're speaking about his charisma and everything, but he's also an incredibly intelligent guy, Laporta. And I think Laporta realizes the Barcelona dressing room really like Koeman. Yeah. They've liked him from the first day, and they're still massively behind Koeman. None more so than Lionel Messi, our captain, the guy who Koeman wants to keep at the club. And I think we saw how actually upset Messi got when Valverde was fired, by the way. He didn't have a good relationship with Setien. And I think Messi, weirdly enough, wanted more respect for Valverde. Which is quite an interesting story, I always find. And I think Laporta will recognise that. He'll see the team has massively improved under Koeman. Younger players have been used. Whether we'll win a trophy or not, whether we'll win La Liga or not is another matter. But he'll evaluate come the end of the season. And ultimately, I back him to make the correct decision. And I think the decision he'll make is to keep Ronald Koeman for now, with managers like Nagelsmann and also Xavi, of course, on the radar. But it will depend. I think he'll evaluate it well. He'll see where we are come the end of the season. If I was to say which way he'd go now, I think he'll keep Koeman. That's my thought. I agree with you guys on that one.
Yeah, and I wanna say what one of our viewers here in the chat said. We got Marvin saying that Koeman was the guy who brought us the unity that we needed, and I think that's important, because he just represents. I just feel Koeman is like one more of us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I expected him to be a little more stern, perhaps a little more strict than I would have anticipated, but he has still managed to, like Alex said before, get us to La Copa del Rey final, get us still battling for La Liga, and that is very, very important. And on top of that, if you're able to secure one of them, you will be able to secure the fans as well, the ones who don't believe in you. And if you do that, you keep Messi, then you will be in a better position even to continue as the next manager come next season. So, yeah, I'm honestly happy with Koeman. I think that the problem with him was time, and he was not going to be able to do something right away. But as we see with time, we're developing to something a lot better, and I just really like where we are right now. I have to admit, I really like it. So the next thing that I wanted us to discuss is what would be Barcelona's transfer strategy. What should we do with it? And Alex has already talked a little bit about taking the risk on a player. And why don't we... Yeah?
Go on. No, I wanted to clarify this, okay? Look, I want to take the risk on a big player. Yes, but don't get me wrong. La Masia is the cornerstone of Laporta's project. Mm-hmm. La Masia is the first place to look. And La Masia should be the top thing, should be the preference. And look, we have bought Trincao. When you have, and all my respects to Trincao, is coming out great right now. But you have Conrad de la Fuente. Costed €0. Yeah, €0. Is in the bench.
Collado as well.
You have Collado as well. Yeah, you have many players. And look, let's remember one thing. Ronald Koeman is believing in the La Masia.
Yeah.
He's believing in Lash Moriba. He's believing in Mingueza. Mingueza, what a player, man.
Yeah. Dude, Mingueza has won me over completely. Like...
Mingueza, people don't understand that Mingueza is one of the best players in Football Club Barcelona right now. I put my hand on the fire, man. And let me tell you one thing. Ilash Moriba, the projection that Ilash Moriba has is insane. It's insane. This guy is going to be worth 100 million in 2 years.
Yeah, and what I like a lot is that the situation that we were under has actually accelerated the progress of these youngsters, right? Because I was looking just 2 years ago, highlights of Moriba in Barcelona B Juvenil, And when you start seeing what we actually got ourselves into, having the backup, the solution of La Masia right there in our own backyard is something that honestly not too many clubs can come out of. And I believe that that is one of the things, one of the main reasons why Barcelona will always, in my opinion, be like in a dynasty. They will always continue to be at the top level, even when they're a little bit down. They will always be able to come back because we have this cornerstone in our identity of the club. And that is why, for instance, club like Manchester City, they want to put a lot of the money in the same things like this. They want to build an academy so they're able to sustain their growth. And for Barcelona, that's perfectly. But I also feel, like you say, I would still, like you say, La Masia and everything, take a risk on a player because sometimes there are holes that you need to field. And I just feel that there are opportunities that you cannot pass. So, Pablo, if you agree with that, what do you think are those holes right now that we could potentially try and need fixing? We know Eric Garcia is more probably to come in the next window, but I feel there's a striker position we kind of need someone in.
I think Eric Garcia will come for free, obviously, and I think a lot of the spots can be filled with La Masia, actually. The wingers, Conrad and Collado for me. In midfield, we have Elias Moriba, we have Jandro Orellana, Nico Gonzalez as well is coming up from the B team. In defence, we've got people like Mingueza, Araujo, Piqué's already there. What happens with Longley and Umtiti, we've got to watch out for. But at left back is I think where the first addition could come in, and I think it could be Gaia from Valencia. I think is a signing Laporta's board could make. Right, we don't know any. Of course, Laporta hasn't even been announced officially yet. So signings wise, these are all guesses. But I think if we want a left back, and I think we should probably go for one, I think Gaia could be a good signing. And then up front, I think we need a player in the final third for me. In midfield, I think we've got options. I think La Masia is a good way to go for midfield, and I listed a few of them there. Already got Pedri and De Jong as well. Busquets can still go for a bit longer.
I think midfield is fine, honestly.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially it's the kind of the hardest place to get these players adapt to. Exactly. That's kind of where I feel that if we look at the last 3 years, that's where we had the most flop per se. And I feel that
it's up front. It's up front for me. If we were to make a signing, I think it's up front. And I think Haaland's going to be hard, but with Laporta back, Laporta, by the way, more than any president in the world, has the best connections with agents. So watch out for Erling Haaland. The issue Laporta will have is his resources compared to Manchester City's is nothing. But what Laporta does have is the agent connections with Mino Raiola. So we're in with a chance, but it's going to be difficult to get Haaland. Another interesting signing, by the way, I think Aguero could be on his list as part of the bargaining chip to keep Messi at the club.
Yeah.
Whether I agree with it or not is another matter, but I'm throwing it out there. I think that's something we could see.
Mm-hmm. So
No, in fact, I think Aguero is a good possibility, but having kicked out Luis Suarez because of his wages, I don't think making the signing of Aguero makes any sense, right? I mean, why not keeping Luis Suarez? Because he was a friend of Leo Messi, and he was too comfortable in Barcelona.
Same
Sergio Aguero is the same. Is his best friend. Is his best friend. Let's bring Erling Haaland. Let's bring Erling Haaland or Haaland or whatever you want to say his name. I put my hand on the fire. I put my hand on the fire. Barcelona needs a breaking signing. Yeah. And to complete the squad, look, Gaia, yes, I accept it. You have Alejandro Valde from La Masia. Yeah. Alejandro Valde, you take the risk because he's young. Yeah, you take the risk. He's young, and I understand it. You still have Jordi Alba. You bring in Alejandro Valde for 1 or 2 seasons. He can get the experience, and Alejandro Valde is going to be great. He's an incredible player from La Masia. 0 cost. You only invest in one player, and that should be Erling Haaland.
I agree with you on that one as well. I feel that is where honestly Barcelona should look at what they can do. And if we are able, for instance, another player that I wouldn't necessarily be very kind of ecstatic if we get him, but I would accept this kind of, it could help us fill some void, especially if we sell players to get people like Haaland on a free transfer. It could be David Alaba. I don't know what you guys have read about this on reports, but I feel that if we look at it, it's a player on a free, wages may be high, but it can help us fill 3 positions. And I don't want to get too much into it because I don't have many kind of reports to back it or anything, but I just feel it's a very interesting option because he's also on a free, right? So free him, free Eric Garcia, and then one signing up top. But Yeah.
Pablo, do you wanna reply to this? And then
I want to say an interesting point on David Alaba. I think he would be a good squad signing. What's interesting is Alaba was about to sign for Real Madrid for the past months now. That still hasn't been made official. His agent, Pini Zahavi, has actually been waiting for Laporta to be announced as Barcelona president. This is, by the way, is the sort of impact Laporta is going to have. He has all the agents around Europe for the best players in the world on strings, and he has the best relationships with all of them. We are all of a sudden now back in the race for David Alaba. I still think he'll go to Real Madrid because they're just so far ahead in negotiations because they've been doing it for so many months. But it would be an interesting addition. I'm not sure where he'd fit into the starting team is the issue. But as a squad player, it would be amazing. The issue is his wages, and I think he also wants to be a starter. By the way, Alaba, I think he wants to be an important player at a top European Spanish club. So I don't know whether we'll get Alaba, but it's one to watch out for now that Laporta has been made president because he still hasn't fully committed to Real Madrid, which I find really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I think that Alaba, first of all, he will only go to Real Madrid if Sergio Ramos leaves.
Yeah, I also feel that. Or Varane.
Yeah, or Varane. Which Varane, I don't think he's going to leave. People are, there's rumors that Sergio Ramos could be making an exit in Real Madrid. I think that's the only possibility that he can join Real Madrid. Is there a possibility that he can join Barcelona? In my opinion, there's no possibility. And why? Because you have Eric Garcia, you have Araujo, you have Mingueza, you have Umtiti, Lenglet, Piqué. Why wasting the money when David Alaba, from what I know, the information that I have is he's asking for more than 10 million per season, and that's a complete disrespect to the situation, the economical situation that Barcelona is in right now, and the football world is right now. So Alaba, to me, out. I don't want Alaba. I want Eric Garcia here for 2 million per year, zero cost in the transfer fee, and then I want a striker. And that's Philip Haran.
And
different topic.
Yeah, and Eric Garcia is an interesting one because I don't know if you probably have it in your own channels and whatnot, but I always get people saying like, oh, why don't we spend for Koundé and not Eric Garcia? Eric Garcia is not that good. He's not the best player. He hasn't even been a starter for City. And I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but I just feel that certain players in certain clubs with the right environment, they will develop a lot more than we've seen. And I don't believe that's a risk. With Eric Garcia, I see no risk whatsoever. And on top of that, he just feels, he fits the mold of what we want, right? And it's a player that the same with Ansu Fati, Moriba, Alejandro Valde coming through, Mingueza, Araujo, all of them, they will become those leaders that we need for the next few generations. And I feel that that is a price that you honestly, for free, that is a bargain. As a bargain as you can get.
And to be fair, let me drop in a little comment here, is that I completely back your argument that you have to make Eric Garcia as good as what you said to Koundé. I understand Koundé is really good, but Eric Garcia knows La Masia, so he knows the tactical. He knows he knows the club. He knows the club. It's very easy to convert him into one of the greatest defenders in the world, and I'm sure that we can do it. I'm sure that Ronald Koeman can give him the insights, and maybe for 1, 2 years, 3 years, and then Xavi is going to come in and is going to change the whole thing. The whole thing is going to change. Although all my respects to Ronald Koeman, I think is a great coach.
Yeah.
What's your take on Eric Garcia, Pablo?
I think you guys are right. I think Eric Garcia gets abuse because he's in the Premier League. He's Manchester City's fourth centre back, and he's slow. So, for example, when he played against Leicester with Jamie Vardy, he got a little bit exposed. And I think very quickly in the Premier League, I think football fans in the Premier League see football a little bit like FIFA sometimes, and immediately jumped onto that. But I think you guys are spot on by saying Eric Garcia is someone who understands the tactical setup of being a Barcelona centre-back to absolute perfection. And he'll actually be a signing that when he does come in, it'll be quite a simple transition for him. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. I think he really, really suits La Liga. I think he really suits Spanish football. And I think it'll be a good addition for us.
Yeah, I'm in awe of what we're hearing. And after that, I guess that another player that is there still in our books, it's Todibo. And I hear a lot of things about Todibo as well. But I don't know if you picked it up, but I read I was watching it was published a month ago when he signed for Nice. And in his press conference with Nice, all of his statements were past tense. Like his experience at Barcelona already had finished. I don't know if you've seen that, but he was talking like literally about, oh yeah, my era in Barcelona, my time there was great. I learned a lot from playing with the big players. It was a good experience for me. Now, like I have to move on. It was already like he knew that he wasn't going to come back or something like that. I don't know what takes you have on that. What opinions?
Yeah. Look, if you don't want to be in Barcelona, if you don't want to sacrifice yourself to be a Barcelona player, then zero chances you become a Barcelona player.
Indeed.
And you have to respect the institution. You have to respect the institution. You have to respect the chance that Barcelona gave you by signing you from, I think was Toulouse, from the French league. You have to respect the chance that we gave you. You didn't take it. And to be fair, his manager, I remember that the manager of Todibo said that he was very confident and very cocky, and maybe ego was
the
like
agent,
over the top. Yeah, the agent, right? I mean, yeah, his ego is like he feels like Beckenbauer or something. Look, Todibo, welcome to the reality. This is Barcelona. If you don't want to be a player of Barcelona, we don't want you either. So, not Todibo for me.
Yeah, that's the same for me as well. Like literally. And you, Paulo, I feel you're in the same boat.
I mean, I agree. Todibo's not going to play another game for Barcelona. Simple as that. I don't know what the solution will be. It might be a loan for a few seasons, then a transfer. It might be a straight up transfer. But yeah, this guy's not going to be a Barcelona player for much longer. Basically, it's a Todibo situation. He's not even an option now for the future, which I suppose is a little bit disappointing. I think when he first arrived, we had quite high hopes for him. I remember he played a really good game at the San Siro on match day 6 of the Champions League when we rotated a lot, but clearly
one game.
Clearly a centre back who could have had a bright future, but it's not going to happen for him. Certainly not at Barcelona anyway. And
and another player that I have kind of keep tabs on that I really like, and hopefully we're able to get him back in the squad. It's Emerson from Betis. I don't know what's his situation, honestly. Like, is he like loaned out to Betis and then he will return, or we have to pay a fee to get him back?
I never know on that one as well. I swear he's loaned, but then people say for Barcelona to get Emerson back in the summer, we have to pay Betis 6 million, is it?
Yeah, you know, Alex?
Yeah, there's actually some sort of a clause in this fact, but I think this clause was last summer. I'm not totally sure, to be fair. Some strange deal.
Bartomeu deals, very shady.
Bartomeu deals is unreal. I mean, they actually bought the player. Barcelona bought the player and loaned it to Betis, but Betis has a buy option. But if they don't, if Barcelona wants to bring the player back, has to pay 6 million. I don't know. Something very strange. And look, Emerson is an offensive player. We have Alejandro Valde. I'm not sure. Well, Emerson is
right
back. Look, we have Serginho Dest. Emerson, I don't know.
Depends the future Sergi with Sergio Roberto. I feel that's the catalyst. If Sergio Roberto kind of already fits, he's going to be right back all the time. I think it's going to be hard for Emerson. If he moves to the midfield, then it's different.
I think that Sergio Roberto is a joker player. Not joker, maybe it's not the word, but
I know what you mean. Like
it's a player that can play in any position.
A wild card.
Yeah, a wild card. Yeah, a joker here in Spain is the word. But yeah, basically Sergio Roberto can play in any position, and I'm sure he's willing to sacrifice himself for the 3 to 4 5 years that he has left of football to play in the right back position as a sub. When you have Serginho Dest clearly capitalizing in this position for the next few years. So I think Emerson, look, let's make business with Emerson. Let's start making business with players that we sign, or let's start making good business, right? Barcelona has been a club that buys players for incredible amounts. Let's start making deals. Let's start being a club that can also buy cheap and sell expensive, right? It's something that we need to work on. Because in fact, I think in the last 2 decades, Barcelona has only known how to buy big players and for a crazy amount. To be fair, we need to focus on La Masia first. Focus on La Masia first, then make 1 or 2 big signings every 5 years.
Yeah, and where you need it. Like, for instance, the Erling Haaland that we're kind of the signing that we're kind of spouting out, it makes sense because we don't have that in La Masia. Like in the
Right.
young coup, we don't
Exactly.
have that in and out number 9. Abel Ruiz was a good option, but he just was kind of like being taken out completely in the storm of Bartomeu. He was never given a proper chance. Bye, you know. But now we don't have that. So
Look,
I
I mean, Ansu Fati,
I
believe it or not, Ansu Fati was a number 9.
Yeah,
Ansu
yeah,
Fati
he was, yeah.
was a center forward. Ansu Fati was a center forward in La Masia. Incredible, right? Well, Ansu Fati, I think he can play in any position, but he needs more body, you know, like a better build to play as a solid center forward. And I think look at Haaland, he's a beast. This guy, you put him in the center forward position, you put a ball in the box, and there's like 50-70% chance that this guy scores the goal. I mean, is a Luis Suarez, but different
bigger,
Luis Suarez, and bigger and younger.
Yeah. Paulo, a little bit of words on Erling Haaland.
Haaland is a monster of a striker, and I've said it for a while now. Whoever gets Erling Haaland is going to enjoy the next 5 years of football. They're gonna have success. It could be Barcelona, but like I said earlier, it's going to be difficult with our resources compared to the money that Man City and even Chelsea. I believe because we've got Laporta back now. This is why we're live stream. We've got the king back to the club. But quick word on Emerson. I think he could come back as the Barca's right back, but I see it very difficult. Dest is Barca's right back for the next decade, and Sergio Roberto isn't going to be sold. So I see little chances for Emerson to be a Barcelona player. And I think you're right. I think if we can sell him for 25-30 million, use that money elsewhere, it's good news for Barcelona. Put it towards Haaland.
Yeah, and with the Haaland thing, something that surprised me a lot when I started researching about Haaland and how he played was that initially I thought you feel you're right, this target man, very pacey, he's not gonna have the touch, the passing ability. But as soon as you start looking at his passing numbers, they're actually not that bad. And they're all progressive passes as well. So it's something that I always kind of, when people ask me about Lautaro or Haaland, like the last transfer window, I always say Lautaro because I feel his associative plays a little bit better. He could fit with this team a little bit more. But then Haaland like skyrocketed into becoming the next whatever striker you want it to be. And I also saw his games now, and he's playing a lot more as what we need for Barca. And I feel that it's just the best thing we can make.
Look, I would only get Lautaro if we trade him for Griezmann. By the way, my pizza's here. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Go get it. So yeah, like I said,
I agree with that point on Lautaro. I completely agree. I always had that obsession that Lautaro was good with his feet, and that if Haaland came to Barca, he couldn't link up play. But I think it was when I watched Haaland against Sevilla. Wow, what a player against a Spanish team, against Koundé and Carlos. So he's impressive.
And
linking up with Sancho.
Every single like chance he has, shot on target. And the power behind it. For me, the moment where I went, okay, Erling Haaland is a proper footballer, I remember it perfectly. We're going back a little bit into showtime, storytell time, or whatever you say in English. Tiempo del cuento. And I remember I was coming back from university, and we had to go to a place where we're gonna like scout out, where we're gonna be doing our stage, and we were gonna build our project there. And we were in a taxi, and we were in McDonald's. Everybody had their burgers like in the same car. It was a little small, you know. It was like those cars that you have to pull the chair like that, so you get inside. So really, really small. And I was watching in my phone. I was watching PSG versus Dortmund.
Oh yeah.
Remember that goal from Haaland? Yo Reina to Haaland. And I went nuts. Oh, you'd see McNuggets flowing all around the car. I just went crazy. That goal for me made Haaland in my eyes. And now that we have here Alex, very important question. What is your favorite toppings on pizza?
Dude, look, I indeed ordered like some vegetarian pizza, man, to be fair. No, but it's some cheese mixed with like some vegetarian spice. That's what I'm into nowadays, but I'm into anything, man. And everything is good. I'm not picky with stuff, you know. Good stuff, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I did. Okay, but
man, let me actually say one thing that, look, Joan Laporta is the new president of Football Club Barcelona. The votes are being counted right now. The percentages are pretty much the same. As the prediction was. I think I just saw right now on Barça TV. It's 57.8% for Joan Laporta, and the prediction was 58%. So the votes that are actually being counted right now are pretty much equal to the predictions.
Yep.
The tsunami of Joan Laporta is here. The reality is striking. The reality is hitting the world. Joan Laporta is the new president of Football Club Barcelona.
He's gonna be on Wednesday in Paris as well.
Yeah, he's rocking up.
Dude, if that happens, we're talking about the best week ever of my entire life. Like, I don't even care. We're talking about the best week ever.
I don't know if we're coming back against PSG.
I said if that happens. I said if that happens. If that happens.
Look, I'm telling you one thing. No, I can't. I was gonna say I'm gonna shave live if we come back.
Dude, I said in my live stream.
I can't. I have a job and stuff. I can't.
In my live stream, people in the last live stream I made for Osasuna, we came to a conclusion that if we come back, I do the Ronaldo haircut.
Wow. I want to see that, man. Let's do it.
And the worst part is that it was like if Umtiti scored 4 goals in the comeback. I do the Ronaldo haircut, but I do it like a red and blue.
Umtiti. No. Is it? Are we gonna concede with Umtiti? That's the easy one.
That's the question. Like, honestly, like, shall we do a little bit of a talk about PSG? Why not?
I mean, yeah, bro. But let me see because Victor Font 30%, Joan Laporta 57%, Antoni Freixa 10%. Everything is the same, guys. Laporta, the new president. But in fact, in terms of PSG, look, I'll be happy if we beat PSG. I don't know if we can qualify.
Yeah, I'm the same with you.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to compete. I want to
beat them. I want to beat them, and I want to scare them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we will qualify, but scare them for like 20 minutes? Yeah, man.
Yeah, and for me, the important thing is compete, because all of these last humiliations, we haven't competed. Like, from minute 1, we see there's no chance. Like, and that for me is the problem. We need to compete. I want to at least be able to lose, but talk to my friends and not hide my head in shame and wanting them not to ask me questions about the game, because that's basically humiliation. No, I want us to compete. Look, I want to feel right about the team.
I feel you. But look, the day after we got beaten by PSG 4-0, I think it was 2017, right?
Yeah.
The next day, I went to university with my Barca shirt. The next day, you know how many people were laughing at me? A bunch of people. You know what? I believed. And I went with the Barca shirt because I believed. And real culés never give up. I always say this in my channel. Real culés never give up.
Yeah.
And I believed. And in fact, the next game, I was in Camp Nou. And you know what? At that moment, I didn't have the pass to go to Camp Nou. I didn't have the seat. But my friend, we were in like in a place, we were in a bar, right? And my friend came up and said, "Look, nobody wants to come with me because it's a useless game." I said, "I'll come with you because we're gonna win 5-0 or 6-1." I swear, I said this.
We're
gonna win 5-0.
I'm so jealous.
And I went there, and the goal, I'm telling you, the Sergio Roberto goal.
Yeah.
There was a dead silence when that ball was floating from Sergio Roberto's feet into the net. There was 100,000 people in one stadium. There was a silence, complete silence, while the ball was flying. The ball hit the net. I was so close, I could hear the ball hitting the net. You know the sensation? You don't understand. The sensation was incredible. One of the best moments of my life.
Yeah. Like, I remember, I always say it as well here on the channel. Like, I remember that day, I was still in school. I was like, when was it? 2016, right? So
2017, I think it was, no? The comeback? I think it was
17.
Okay.
17, yeah, somewhere.
I was like 1 year from graduating, right? So I was there, and my mom, she used to travel a lot. So that day I was with my father that day, and I believed as well. I always said we were gonna make it. My friends were laughing in school. And even my friends from Barca, they said, no, it's never going to happen. We have Valverde, useless. No Valverde, Luis Enrique, useless. Because they didn't even like him, because at that stage, in countries like even like a Peru, where you feel that only Guardiola is like the best thing ever, they don't trust it like that. They don't feel it like that. So I was there and I told my father, allow me to miss school today. Allow me to miss school today. And he was like, sure, what we're going to do? What happens if Barcelona don't come through? Did I tell you? He was like, okay, I'll tell your mom. And my mom is like very strict. She never wanted me to miss anything. So I was going to be done for. And that day, oh my God, I remember my friends, I had videos from my friends in class, like they had their backpacks just watching the game, and they couldn't believe what happened. I was getting WhatsApp messages from every single person. And then the next day when I came in school, my teacher came in and shook my hand. And I'm like, I know, right? Because it actually happened. Because they knew I was the crazy little guy that loved Barcelona. And it actually happened. So, dude.
That's brilliant.
And then, you know what's the thing? I know many of those moments are going to come back with Laporta. I just cannot wait.
Yeah, man, because the sensations are there. The feeling of greatness, the winning spirit is back with Laporta. Because Laporta is all about that, you know. Look, mentality can be worth more than 1 billion euros. 1 billion euros are nothing against 100% mentality, winning mentality. And that is what Laporta is bringing today. Laporta is going to bring for the next 5-6 years to Barcelona, or 10 years.
Yeah.
This is what Barcelona needed, winning mentality. Look, Braithwaite can score a hat-trick against PSG.
That's the thing, exactly.
But that's a mentality. That's a mentality. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
I 100%.
But it's a mentality. It's a mentality. Cheers on that.
For me, precisely the thing. Like, I feel that if you don't have that mentality that you can go to the PSG and believe that you can win, then you're already losing the game. And that was someone in the chat said to me in the last reaction as well. I was like, but how can you not believe that we can do it? Like, just believe that you can do it. Oh no, I can't, because then I'm gonna be sad and frustrated. Like, who cares? Just go with the belief that you can do it, and that's where you're gonna be able to succeed if you do. For me, like, that mentality is 100% the most important thing that you can have in this sport and anything in life, honestly. So yeah, Pablo.
Yeah, man. It's great that Laporta is here, man. It's just great, man. Let's just celebrate, guys. Let's celebrate. I mean, Laporta, new president of Football Club Barcelona. What a great day. Today is a great, what day is the day? 7th of March. What a great day is 7th of March.
Ronald Araujo's birthday, dude. That guy might be celebrating crazy.
Ronald Araujo, man, is the happiest man in the world, man, right? I'm the happiest guy, and it's not even my birthday. Dude, imagine if it's my birthday.
Yeah, the day of the Sevilla one, I also ordered pizza, and I mistakenly ordered the same order twice because I was so excited. I literally had.
Dude, double pizza, man.
Yeah, I had that. So, well, I think we're almost hitting the 1 hour mark now. So, what do you want to do, guys? Maybe what few questions, what doubts we may have.
Yeah, let me give you a small brief. So I think it's 78% of the votes have been counted.
Mm-hmm. We're nearly there.
We're nearly there, and basically the percentages are basically the same. 57.2%, I think, for Laporta, 10% for Toni Freixa, and around 30% for Victor Font. So, I mean, people were waiting for the official announcement. I think there's with 70% of the votes counted, we could really say that is official now. Joan Laporta is the president of Football Club Barcelona for the next 6 years. The glory is back to Camp Nou. The enthusiasm, the charisma is back in Camp Nou. Today I was there. In fact, today I was there. Great people. I saw a great ambience, although a lot of voters of Victor Font. And as I said in my video this morning, because I uploaded the video on my channel at 3 a.m. in the morning because I wanted to give my feedback. I wanted to give my feedback on the elections, and the feedback was, look, Laporta is the clear favorite, but Victor Font could actually get the chance for the presidential seat.
We've seen that, to be fair. He's actually got quite a few votes. I kind of was expecting a little less for Font, but he has his supporters, so I think you're right on that.
Clearly, it was the anti-Laporta vote that got divided between Toni Freixa and Victor Font, and that hurt a lot to Victor Font. Surely, if it was a 1-to-1 between Laporta and Victor Font, it would have been very, very tight. And maybe without Toni Freixa, Victor Font would have been the president of Football Club Barcelona. But Toni Freixa, who has been manipulating the Twitter polls during the last month, I think. He has had an impact, and he has been growing, especially in the last debate. I think that Toni Freixa has been growing in the last debates. And Victor Font has been slipping a lot, and we have seen that. Victor Font, as actually Pablo said at the beginning of the live stream, he has been slipping quite a lot for the 7 years that he says that he's been preparing the project, which I don't believe it's been 7 years. It's all marketing. And at the end of the day, we have the person that deserves to be the president, and we're happy. We're happy for the decisions of the club members. Yeah. At least I am happy. I guess you guys are happy.
Yeah. I don't think anyone who actually supports like Freixa could be able to come on here, right? And do a live stream supporting whatever is gonna happen. Imagine. We should try and find one out there in the wild.
Laporta is currently holding the hands of Freixa and Font.
Yeah. Literally, they were just holding hands like that. Look. I'm telling you, I know a Toni Freixa fan. I know a Toni Freixa. Really? I know it seems strange. I know one. It's actually a very good friend of mine. He hates Joan Laporta. Ooh. But to be fair, Toni Freixa is a fraudster. He's been manipulating the Twitter polls because he had zero chances of winning these elections. So Toni Freixa is a fraudster. He's been trying to manipulate the opinion of the club, and that should be an insult. And all my respects to Victor Font, because Victor Font has worked a lot, despite saying that it's 7 years that he's worked, which I don't believe at all. And I think he has worked a lot, and he's a club member that should be respected. And all my respects to Victor Font.
Yeah, Laporta, exactly. For me,
great guy. Yeah.
For me, Laporta, Font, they all have worked really, really hard. But Freixa, the thing is that once you start manipulating those polls, you show that your interest is more on the personal side and not on behalf of the club. And I think that's the difference. So precisely
right.
on that.
It would have been dangerous if we had another one of these people back in the club, I'm telling you. And it's so good now that they're gone now, that we're rid of these people who are up to no good in Barcelona. And now we have someone who has the club's best interests at heart and who represents Barcelona and who represents Catalonia as well. And he really shows the club's values. So Laporta coming back is important for so many reasons, and that's great to see.
Look, and I respect Tony. I respect Victor Font, not Toni Freixa. Toni Freixa is a fraudster. Look, we're seeing right now Victor Font congratulating the team of Joan Laporta. The team of Joan Laporta. That says a lot. Victor Font has competed like a gentleman. Victor Font had a good project. Let's be fair, he had a good project. Yep. I don't know, putting aside the controversy between Xavi and Jordi Cruyff and Benaigues and whatever, I think the project of Victor Font was really well built. The execution is something else. Let's be fair, the execution is a complete difference, because the paper holds everything, right? I can write a letter and it looks good, but the execution is different. And to be fair, I think Victor Font has done a lot for Football Club Barcelona, and he has been respectful to the other candidates, unlike Toni Freixa. Who has been trying to attack Laporta, trying to get the worst out of Laporta, and even worse, trying to manipulate the socios' opinion on Twitter, right?
Yeah, and some of the people here are saying that, for instance, they would like Victor Font to work under Laporta, but I don't think that's gonna happen, because remember that there was a moment where they wanted to unite fronts, right? And something didn't go well there.
Well, in fact, I think it was Victor Font wanting Laporta to join his candidacy, because Victor Font saw a complete threat if Laporta actually presented himself, and at the end of the day,
it happened.
It happened. Let's be fair. Victor Font had been preparing maybe for 2 years before these elections, so we knew he was campaigning already for 2 years. Everybody was obsessed with Victor Font because there was basically no other candidate. Now, with Joan Laporta coming in the game, Victor Font knew he was the biggest threat. He knew that all the work that he had done was being vanished just by a banner near 200 meters away from Bernabeu. And he asked Laporta to join his candidacy. Obviously, Laporta, what is he going to say? You join my candidacy. And in fact, Laporta didn't even want Victor Font in his candidacy. No. He trusted his people before he trusted Victor Font.
Yeah. So with that, guys, do you feel that we have any more areas of focus that we need to touch upon? Anything that we've missed?
I mean, I think we've covered it all. What are you thinking? You thinking to wrap it up now, or do we go until it becomes official? If that's
I don't know. What's your take? What do you take? What do you want? I'm free either way.
Look, I think there's until it becomes 100% official.
It's a bit of time.
I don't think we need to wait for that time because I'm telling you, with 70% of the votes being counted, there is no chance that the results are reverted.
He's already celebrating. Everyone's already
exactly. They know Joan something. Laporta, they know something we don't, and that's
no. We know.
But like.
I mean, it's done. It's done, guys. It's done. Joan Laporta, the new president. The glory is back to Camp Nou. We should all be happy. We should all celebrate because today, pop a bottle, guys. Pop a drink. If you're underage, please don't do it. Drink water or juice.
Apple juice. I always say
drink apple juice. But today is a great day. Tomorrow, be proud of Barcelona. Tomorrow, go to the job, to school, to university, if you can, with the Blaugrana shirt. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do it because my job doesn't permit. Allow me, yeah. But to be fair, I'm going to be proud of Barcelona. And you guys can check me out also in Blaugrana Planet. Blaugrana Planet is my social media network. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You guys can check me out. And I'd like to thank BugaLuis for the special invitation here. I had a complete blast. It was an incredible live stream that we had here with Pablo from Barça Universal. Pablo is a great guy. Luis is an incredible person. We had an incredible live stream, and I'm so happy because today marks a new era, right? Mm-hmm. Today marks a new era. Joan Laporta, the new president of Football Club Barcelona, things are changing. So thank you so much for inviting me in this live stream, and all the best, guys. You guys are incredible people.
Yeah, whenever you want, we're here. We can continue talking about, and I feel that this may mark a new era for us as well. All of our ventures, our channels, all of that skyrocket, because now it's more important than ever to follow Barcelona, right? So Pablo, thanks to you as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me on again. And yeah, it was great talking to you guys, and I'd love to do it again in the future. But for such a great evening, we can look back and we were all together on one of the most important days on Barca's history. So yeah, it was a great evening, a great chat, and a great night for Barcelona.
Yeah, and definitely thank you to all of you in the chat there. We reached the top that we got people watching. It was 800. I think that's a pretty good number. I think that's the most that we have here already. And so thank you all of you who have been able to tune in. Remember to follow all of these guys in Barça Universal, in Blaugrana Planet. Follow me on the channel. I guess if you're already watching it, that may not be the case. That may already be the case. But yeah, indeed, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. New era for Barcelona starting.